Hi, this is Mia. I don't know what happened to my video that I was recording. I'm gonna have to redo it. Um, that's embarrassing. I was making a video, and I thought I was making a video for like a long time, and it's not working for me. So two things I was gonna talk about, and one is computers, and the other is clothing. So for the computers, my partner was looking at the Lenovo, and his buddy said that there was some support issues with the Lenovo at a commercial place, and it was very difficult. And I have her outfit was cute. I'm watching Let's Make a Deal. So I'm like, what I've always wanted for more than 10 years has been iPad. Oh, sorry, an iPod. Or sorry, a MacBook Pro. I have an iPad Mini. I should have got a regular. I had a regular iPad actually. My son broke it, and I have no idea where it is. And it was very good. I filled up the memory though. Someone's like, "You're not supposed to keep all your notes on there. You're supposed to go home and move them to your computer." And I was like, "Oh," like it was like filled up with notes. But it really helped me one term. I got to carry the iPad around, and it was lightweight and stuff, and I was carrying it to clinic on top of my clipboard. And if you had the slide open clipboards, you could stick it in your clipboard, so it was really nice inside the pocket and carry it around with you. And I miss that iPad. I forgot I had that. This is my second iPad. So right now, this lady is so sleazy. That's what she's on the show for. People don't realize how much we're programmed. So no one in the audience is gonna look like the supermodel on the TV programs. The normal people, the non-plastic. Actually, a lot of the people in the audience would be plastic too, because they're trying to imitate this young supermodel. Anyways, that's the world that we live in. Even in poor cultures, we're gonna find ways to do beauty. Um, Skin bleaching, hair straightening, jewelry, different things. So we're looking at Lenovo's and this, and it's like, oh, the big screen burns the battery, and they're saying a 3-hour battery life. I can imagine it being 6-7 months old, and you're using something and you're streaming something and you're on the internet. I can imagine it being like, oh, 45-minute battery, an hour. Like, if they're saying 3 hours now, new, God, I mean, I was like, can you even do a battery pack where you switch out the battery pack, like while you're in the middle of something? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you pull the battery out, that it would shut everything down. If there's not like a 1 minute, like I want to look that up, but I'm like, then the sound isn't right and stuff, and I'm like, ugh. Like sound is an important part of my computer. My HP that someone had got me had the sound was this video is really short. I don't know how to spell abruptly. A suddenly we're changing it. This sunlight Tuesday morning. Still anxious. So I have to clean this area. Like, there's no kitchen. They have like these tables with stuff on them. I have a headache. I don't feel well. These almonds from Whole Foods are giving me the worst headache, and they're hurting my gums. I know that it says that they have wheat and corn and crap in them. I hate people that do that. I'm gonna avoid it at all costs. this is going to cause a big change in my diet. I believe that's why I've gained all the weight, because I'm getting dairy, wheat, and corn and all kinds of stuff mixed in with my nuts, and my food is not clean. It's not just tree nuts or peanuts that are contaminating my food. It's a whole bunch of stuff, and they're not going to disclose like tapioca and corn. They're going to put wheat, shellfish, soy, dairy, and whatever else they said. And it's really making me feel sick. Like, my sinuses are messed up. That could be a lot of why I have brain fog and why I can't think straight. It's definitely making my gums inflamed and bleeding. I mean, I don't know if that's definite, but the nuts themselves are causing my gums to feel like they're peeling back. And this wasn't happening before. So that's a big problem for me. It's going to be a big change in diet, because it's going to be very expensive to get clean nuts. It will be nearly impossible to get raw nuts. Nothing in this country is raw. It's all been steam pasteurized, even if you get sprouted nuts. So I'm very angry about the way that there's a gluten-free phase, but it's going to be gluten-free, and they're not going to worry about other things. There's going to be a few clean products if you have multi-allergies, but those are going to, like, you're going to get 3 cookies for $10 or something, like, ridiculous like that. And then that company, even if you like it, it's not going to necessarily stay in business because it's too expensive. Even if people can make their own stuff, but even the ingredients are contaminated. So in food, you have, let's say I make chicken, and I'm going to package up and make chicken sandwiches. And let's just say I have the chicken, and I have chicken, garlic powder, onion, salt, parsley, and that's it. No, I didn't put any eggs, I didn't put any wheat, I didn't put any whatever. But I have the ingredients of the garlic, onion, salt, this and that. And I got the chicken from this company, and I got the garlic and the spices from another company. And those people, they said when their chicken container says like it has 15-cent solution and preservatives and sodium and this and that, and maybe MSG, and maybe the packaging has cornstarch on it to keep them from sticking. And this company gets the package for the salt, and it could have natural and artificial flavors, right? And then that company, you go back to the next company who put together the spices, and you did have straight up parsley, and you did have straight up salt, and you did have straight up garlic and onions. But these garlic and onions and stuff were in a factory that handled wheat and shellfish and soy. So then you have the company before, that's the farmers, and they're handling the company, and they're preserving the stuff in refrigerators, and they might be spraying it with preservatives. Who knows what pesticides? The pesticides could say organic. It could be a corn-based or a soy-based spray mixture for preservatives, or the packaging, and or the herbicide and pesticide. So you have the farm, the company that gathers it and puts it in refrigerators. Those people distribute it to these people that are going to dry it and put it into packages and mix the spices, or the chicken. Same with the chicken. What does the chicken eat? And then you have that going to the company that's going to sell it to me, who owns the restaurant or the food service place where we're going to sell these sandwiches or these pieces of chicken for my sandwiches. And I disclose that it has chicken, garlic, salt, onion, and parsley. And it's like, you don't have a lot of the other ingredients or the contamination. And it's like, where in the world? This lady right here is crazy. She's absolutely wild. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. She's actually kind of a good dancer. She's like a partier. They know how to disclose all that stuff, and they might not even know it. And it's like someone like me eats this. I'm like, well, I read the ingredients. It's clean. And if someone has a severe allergy, like a shellfish allergy, they have anaphylaxis. Like, oh, I just ate this chicken. Like, oh, so it must have been contaminated. Something like, I'm scared to go to that store. I'm scared to buy that brand anymore. Like, if you're like me, you're just scared to buy it, or you buy it another time and it happens. You end up in the hospital, or you can't breathe, and you're like, well, that was weird. Or you cook it and you get a rash. You're like, well, my family made it for them, and I'm not going to eat it. There must be something, you know. And you have all these things. And so I'm going to have to clean out my body. And I really want to do more organic as well. Just same thing, you're still exposed to organic. If you eat vegan stuff, you're still exposed to stuff that I don't want in my diet. So I feel like going back to what I was originally talking about, which was the computer in the clothing. The computer, I always wanted, we've had Macs. I've had a Mac from a thrift store, a laptop, and I used to get this electrical buzz when I had it on my lap. And I used to play, pretty much the only thing I did with it, that was before we had like Wi-Fi, and I don't think I hooked the internet. I pretty much like played with it, and then I used it as a, there's a puzzle on it. I just did the puzzle. And I remember my partner took the tax return, and he bought a MacBook. An old MacBook. It wasn't like a Pro. It was like an old white one. He actually got that stolen. Someone broke down the door and stole his MacBook. So you know it was somebody he had at the house, someone he knew. And, God, I wish I had some of my family heirlooms from that house. But what I have is my DNA, my kids' DNA, and we're all alive and breathing. So I had no Macs in my house as a child, but we used Apple computer in 6th grade. We had computers, and I remember overhearing the conversation between my teacher and my mom for conferences. She's like, I don't know about why your daughter's like this. Every other kid comes up to use the computer and they're scared of it, but your daughter just gets right on there, types. She's not afraid of the keyboard. And it's weird because we had a Texas Instruments and then just a PC. So it ends up there's how these people dancing. I don't know. Is that what they have to do? Is dance to get their money? And I felt like I never have a problem with my 2 Apple products. My daughter had a very old iPhone 5S. I got 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It was like old. Like when we got it, it was old. It was the cheapest one that I could get new. And what happened to, if you really get a donkey or whatever, a cardboard purse. Oh, it was the money or the purse. Dang it. Oh. She got 4,000. It's like a trick. Like, I'm stuck in this game show. Grandma like game shows, guys. My grandma Charlotte on my mom's side, she like puzzles, game shows. Speaking of doing a puzzle on a Mac, use a Mac at Portland State University at the computer lounge. There's about 5 Macs and about 50 or more PCs. The line would be out the door with people trying to use computers, because that's before we all had computers, our internet, our printers. So we had to they forced us to do our homework. But we didn't have like I had like dial-up or whatever. It wasn't even Ethernet. It was like a phone cord in my house. It would take me all morning to print my biology notes if I had to print them from home. If your computer slept, you'd have to start. Like, it took that long to download the data through a phone cord. This is in like 2007, and then it took that long to go to the printer. It was a mess, and I had my dad's old laptop. I kept thinking it was from the 80s. I'm sure it's from the 90s. I had my dad's old laptop. Oh my god, it's so old. You could do DOS on it. I still have that laptop. My daughter got it. I have the original owner's manual for that too in a baggie. I need to tell the kids to keep that. So what if they don't though? I think it's better to clean up. So I'm just going to say it's between Lenovo right now. We were looking at Acers and stuff. This is an Acer, I think. And then we were looking at, so PC laptops. My partners want to run a Chromebook. I've been able to do pretty much everything on the Chromebook. And then you have the Mac Air and the Pro, the Pro, MacBook Air. I was thinking just to get a 13-inch MacBook Air with the most amount of memory for like what, $1,200 or something, or because the Lenovo is getting up there, $1,200, $1,600. I don't know. It was the Yoga, so it would be able to fold over. It has the pen or the stylus and all this stuff. The stylus actually has to be charged, which just seems like a pain in the butt. Bloatware will be on that, and I do have Apple. I do have an Apple somewhere at home on a shelf, office. So that is in the house for what? I got a family, so it's like at least 3, I think. I think if you get it individual, it's already 3, like your phone, your tablet, and your computer. The second thing I want to discuss. So I'm thinking I want a MacBook, but I said I don't deserve it. I can't afford it. What should I do? You know? And so it's getting really scary to have a commitment. But it's like, how many times have I used a PC, or all of my PCs some guy has picked out for me and given to me, and I didn't get to just research and look online and see what I like, or go to a store. Like, I had gone to a store, tried to piece one together. My dad's like, this guy's trying to sell you a really old model of a computer, and this guy's was from our church. I was trying to give everyone in our church who had a business. I was trying to give him business. Most of them wouldn't get us the time of day. And this guy, he had written emails that the grammar was really bad. I asked the pastor, is this guy drunk or something? What's wrong with this guy? His grammar, it looks like he's high on crack. And of course, this guy was clean cut, wore a suit or like a sports shirt and a jacket or whatever. But I was like, and they had all these businesses, mainly tanning beds and all this stuff. And I hated these people kind of like, because of course the pastors loved them. They were shady as heck. My dad's, I got these emails and they were really badly written. They could have been spell checked. And he's like, no, I don't think this guy graduated from high school. But I was like, I don't think this guy graduated from first grade, because I could spell better than that by the time I was in second grade. I'm not judging him for that, but I was judging him from what my dad said, that he had showed you a really old model of a computer. And that's sometimes when you do have people doing this computer stuff or cars, when they only show you one thing, it's like they have something they want to get rid of and they want to charge a lot of money. So it's like, sucker, you know, they don't say, come into my store, here's all of the stuff I have, what do you like? And I take value and pride in my product. It's like they're trying to pawn off something that they're losing money on, and it's crap. And if somebody wanted crap, you could say, well, like, you have some of the old car, well, you want this old ruggedy car to go off-roading in. Like, maybe you don't want your 16-year-old daughter to take it to a professional job while she's trying to do internship and trying to be a lawyer, you know, like, maybe you want something less rugged and more, like put together, you know. So sometimes people will buy something, but you need something good. The second thing that I talked about in some of my videos, there's an experiment on YouTube where a guy goes in and he buys, $10,000 worth of clothing, and he ends up walking around. He was in Las Vegas, though, and he'd have people just come up to him and ask him to work for them. And he'd have basketball players, like, hire them. He'd have people say, I want you to consult with me. I have a business. Like, he wouldn't even know what he was going in for. It's like, we want to hire you. You look successful. Like, whatever you're doing it right. And we trust you. And they'd have, like, multi-million-dollar company people. And he did have a job as some kind of consultant or something. And I think this was different than the guy who was doing real estate. So we'd help connect customers like me. I'm looking for a residential and commercial building. He would help people go connect with the property owners or the property managers. And he said he had spray painted his phone number on the side of his car because he couldn't like afford to do any advertising or anything. But now it's like he has a multi-million-dollar company in Los Angeles or wherever selling and or connecting people still. But that was like, I was watching his business videos, and then the other guy popped up where he just wanted to do the social experiment to see how he would be treated. And it wasn't about being treated, but how he would be treated, I guess, is the reality, if he had those nice clothes. And he got really nice clothes, like $2,000 pairs of pants and all this stuff. It was like, even just being he had a basketball player inside the Beverly Hills say, I like the way you dress, I want you to help me pick out some clothes. And it's like he's wearing expensive t-shirts and jeans and matching socks and shoes. Like, it's not anything, it's not like he's wearing a sequin suit, look like a pimp. But his friend, he's like, tell his friend who was in car sales, you should do this. Or his friend wasn't in car sales. He said, you should do this. And this guy's like, oh, I'm not that vain. Like, whatever. I'm going to just take pride in who I am, not the way I dress. And not that the other guy was dressed bad. And the other guy had a friend who was a car salesman, and they needed their monthly quota. And the car salesman's like, hey, we got a deal for you. You drive the sports car. You buy it from us. Drive it for a couple weeks and return it. I need that quota for my month, and I'll be in trouble. The whole store will be in trouble. Says buy it and sell it back to us, or refund it, right? And so the guy goes and wants to go purchase this luxury sports car, and he starts driving around, and people start like, oh man, you're successful, I'll take a picture. Like, don't verbatim me on this. They're like, oh man, I need to learn what you do for a living because you're successful, you look like you know what you're doing, we trust you because you have this fancy car. So that's another thing. The guy was like, just trying to help a friend out. He didn't want to look like, first impression, he didn't want to try to look wealthy and successful, but he ended up doing it and saying like, wow, I get it now, I get it. And that's very cocky and vain. But when people especially like talk about old-fashioned movies, 80s, 90s, people would go to work, women would wear a lot of dresses and hats and have hair curled up, no matter your race. You have curly, nappy hair, you straighten it and curl it. You have straight, fine hair, you curl it up and hairspray it, right? So somehow you end up with the same big ringlets, and you had the hats, and you had the stockings, and you had the shoes, and you had stuff clean, and you had gloves, white gloves and a purse, and you went to church, and your pastor was dressed up, and the choir was in robes, and doctors were wearing white coats and glasses and clean cut hair, and you have salespeople in your life. Right now, even realtors will do a lot to bleach out their hair and to do their nails and to look nice. And me as a doctor and as a doula and as a human, even like as blacks, and my family was in Virginia in segregation, they had this raggedy house, they had this big old car and these nice clothes and the white gloves and all the works, hair done. They did not skimp. I'm sure their stuff wasn't as expensive as a wealthy person. That's their Sunday best sometimes. But it's like, even when you go to work and you see my partner wearing button-up shirts to work, it's like, oh, work shirt's got stains on it, or it's just intentionally a work shirt. I was like, oh, I kind of like that. I went to a dealership. It wasn't a dealership, but a car mechanic who all the guys wore the bodysuit things or the coveralls. And I was like, oh, I like that, So I'm going to do an experiment. I don't have clothes that fit. My hips are like 45 inches. Like, oh my God, I'm so fat. They should be like 39. I'm so large. My partner wants to lose weight. I got to do my exercise videos and stuff. He came home early. I was going to take a shower at 5 and do my exercise. Yesterday I didn't do it. I did my walk. So that's where my experiment is. The two computers. If I keep wanting a Mac and I say I don't deserve it, it's too expensive, this and that. If the Mac battery lasts 11 hours and the PC is 3, and the biggest thing about the Mac, I heard that since 2008 that they go and shut off, turn it back on, and open it as a Windows machine, so that if there's something, as I was looking up about doctors, and of course it brought up med students and nurses using Macs, and how that there's some things in the medical school or the software that doesn't work on a Mac operating system, but you could restart your computer as a Windows machine. Because I was confused, I read somewhere comparing the two different types of machines. Someone was saying that they had the Windows software worked better on a Mac, and I was like confused. But then I read an article last night that said that you can open it up a certain way, and I was like stoked about that. I need clothes anyway. The last clothes I bought was at Walmart or Kohl's. I'm thinking of getting stuff at Kohl's just because of the Kohl's cash. I was looking at Nordstrom Rack. I was trying to look at the clearance on Nordstrom, which I looked at. I'm basically looking for just a couple tank tops, a nice sweater, a pair of pants, and I'm going to add to it, a raincoat. I'm going to add to it a blazer, and what else? A blazer and a dress, I guess. I need something relaxed, casual I can wear at home, and I need something that I can do, go out. And I should just get some rags to wear around the house. I should just grab a grab bag from Goodwill online for stuff I can wear around the house. But you still don't want to order something and have a hole and stain and poop stain. Like, you don't want something nasty. You might as well just get something cheap and do what I'm doing and get myself my apron made. So there's a lot to do today. It's already almost 11. I don't have a lot of time. I'm really overwhelmed because I don't have a lot of time. I just have to do that FCC something do the FCC thing first, and then do the Medicaid thing. Just do it tonight, and my partner comes home, do my meeting, and then just tonight just say, hey, I'm going to multitask. I'll rewatch this show later. We have the luxury of being able to rewatch the TV programs. So I found out I saved a movie. I started in the middle and I saved it, and when I went to replay it, it only had the movie where I started. Like, it didn't go back to the beat. I was like, that's awkward. Like, maybe it fixed itself. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn. We always had an antenna on our TV. This lady, I like her sequence. I have those kind of sequence. I gotta go. Even if I play my game, I just gotta stop talking. It's taking data. But the two types of computers, my mind is just like, get a Mac. And then he's trying to say get a MacBook Pro, and I'm like, just get an Air, because it's like I could stick it in a little shoulder bag and have that. You don't want to leave it in the car. You want to be able to carry it with you if you go. If I did doula, or if I do a house call, you want to have it easy. Like, it fits in the medical bag. You know what I mean? It's a 15-inch screen. That's big. A MacBook Pro, 13-inch screen. I've been having big 14 and a half, 15 and a half inch screens. And it's nice to be able to pull up the windows. But because the stuff doesn't work for me all the time, then I'm ending up needing to do more than one device, or keep having to switch pages. It's just a pain in the butt. It's not the end of the world. If they don't work, I have to use a little cell phone, or I have to use a iPad mini, like 7-inch, to do all my work. And so having something where you can switch screens is fine. If it works, that's the main thing. And I've had a lot of stuff that didn't work. And if I'm doing something very important, like a job application or a resume, I can see the whole page and the little typo, the little dots, the periods that accidentally get put in there, or the word gets cut in half and a P. Like, you look over here and accidentally type a P and you're about to send that resume to someone. It's like you could see it better than that on the cell phone. So I had a friend who had a PC desktop for a job, and it was always updating. It's like 1,000, 2,000 updates, 10,000 updates. Like, it updates every day. I was like, that's like, you can't use that machine. So he had an iPhone, an iPad, and an iPad or a MacBook Pro. And he didn't have a cover on his iPad. We had to use it for some group. And he passed it over to me, and I was like, oh. like the angels of heaven were like, oh, like I was like, this is. It's like touching the paint job on an old Porsche that's like really nicely stored. It's like so smooth. It's like that. It's like that good steak that like melts in your mouth, and it's that steak that you're chewing, and like 30 minutes later you're still chewing. It's all gristle. I mean, it's food. It might still taste good, but there's something not as about it. And then the price and all that stuff. I feel like the clothes, if I just want to buy a couple tank tops, this and that, I need stuff to wear around the house that fits. This is like a small, I can feel my circulation getting cut off. I can feel me getting more anxious. This stuff should have been sold. I haven't sold a thing for my eBay in more than a month. It's really embarrassing. We need to find a place to live. And then the last thing I want to say about that, I have not been earning money. I've been getting my claims denied. I also want to say that I have to conserve whatever money I get. I'm in debt for school. I'm in over $7,000 of debt on my credit card. I've never racked up my credit card that high. I have paid it off in full every month until now, because I haven't been able to find a job and I haven't been getting paid at my business. I've gotten paid $100 on my business. I've got my other claims denied. I just found out, so I did do some work I said I would do yesterday. And with that, I'm gonna go if I need to. Not if I need to. I'm gonna get on my Zoom in a meeting, and just it is what it is. I'm gonna eat my noodles. Get some different kind of nuts. I should put some of these almonds in a jar so my partner can have some, and then I'll put the rest in the crate. And I got some pecans. The pistachios aren't that good. The ones up the street here are good. And then I'm going to make a conscious effort to cut out the cooked, like, pasteurized nuts, and the cross-contamination with the wheat. I believe that that's one of the biggest reasons that I'm feeling sick up here. My sinuses, head fog, and weight gain and bloating, and just overall fatigue, I believe. I can see the difference. I had cut almonds out especially for a long time, for about 2 months, and now I went back to it because of this COVID, kind of desperate. Like, it's already hard for me to find food, even in Portland, between the price and the stuff that I liked, other people liked. So I'm gonna pray right now. Dear God, I'm overwhelmed. I can't get my work done. I'm unmotivated. I know I only have a couple. It's already 11 in the morning and my partner's already have to come home, and I gotta just stand up and do the work that I need to do. I did get up and sat in bed and do my work, so thank you for the ability to do that. I do have to make a chart for that. Actually, I've still... Did I finish? I feel like I finished it. I only had got paid for 2 patients last year or something ridiculous. I don't know if I finished it or not. I'll go finish that. Thank you that I do have a computer. People talk about the gratitude list. I do have a computer. The TVs distract me. Before we had all the DVDs and VHS tapes and YouTube on the computer, and we had a lot of clutter in the house. So think of it as a different way to have a library of movies. And I also have even on my iPad, a Hoopla account. I could look at something cute. What got me through the work the other day was the Cold Case Files on, I think it was on either HBO or Netflix. I gotta make some more kale. I gotta take my walk. So my goal is to finish the FCC goal. Let's say finish the FCC thing. I want to say by 3. I think I can do it faster than that. So let's say finish the FCC thing by 3, and do that first half of my EHR thing by 5, and then plan on taking a walk either at 5 or at 8. That's what I'm thinking right now. And I feel like the FCC thing won't take me that long, but I want to do some research. I want to do a meeting. I want to order some clothes. Because you think about clothing, computer, food. It's like, I have enough clothes that I'm not going to be naked. I don't have a washing machine, so I can't wash and wear clean clothes, and that sucks. I need like bras and underwear and stuff, or just go to the wash more often. It's expensive. There's a lot going through my mind, and just keep working at the unemployment stuff and keep looking for a job. Like, there's all that stuff. So I feel like if I can get everything, like, you know what I should say? If I can get everything done by 5, then you can walk at 9 tonight, 10 tonight, 3 a.m., 7 o'clock, and you would have Wednesday and Thursday where you could say, I did my goal before the deadline on Thursday at 5. Because last year I messed up and I didn't finish it until Friday. It was just a mess. And I take all these webinars and then I do stuff wrong. Or I take a webinar for Medicaid and I take a webinar for just general billing. And then they say 2 different things. I gotta listen to the one that I'm actually billing. So I gotta tone it down. As far as my business, I want to set up my business as a remote business, as a telehealth. I'll do in-person visits, but telehealth and in-person visit. And I will need to do advertising strategy. I want to open a rural health clinic. And I need to rent a space. If I took $1,000 that I had and set it aside for the next 10 months, that would be $100 a month. So could I pay $100 a month for clinic space? And just do like this lady Deborah said for telehealth. She wasn't getting patients. She was frustrated. She was anxious. She was putting in practice patients, trying to pretend her schedule was full. But then she took a step back. And she did those things like I have on my freaking back burner. Get your paperwork in order. For me right now, I need to get it in order. I need to change it generic. The Tower of Health LLC is not just in one state. I need to put the 3 zip codes or whatever. I need to say, I need to say if I wanted to spend $100 a month, then maybe spend $100 a month on something like you want to, like you choose, not the stupid EHR that said, oh, it's going to be free forever, and then like, oh, we got bought out. Like, those fools are just stupid. So I need to make it so that I have, if I have to pay $10 a month to do online secure documents, HIPAA compliant, if I need to spend $10 a month on a fax, on an online fax, or send the HIPAA compliant emails to my kids and have them fax it from Oregon, that is also an idea, just to make sure the toner and stuff is up to date. And I also need to do an advertising budget. You see the same fools on Facebook all the time, and you see for my profession that people that we know get featured as this person, sales went through the roof after they took my class. And we know this. We went to class like, oh, somebody said, I'm going to pay for this lady, and I'm going to do her program and make my business grow. And the point is not just this is my profession and what are people doing, paying thousands of dollars to hire these people. It's the fact that someone had a $5 a week Facebook ad that we all see every single time we log in. The same lady. She's popping up on me looking for clothing. She's popping up on me searching the web, looking at the news, And so I have to keep that in mind, that I see this person. I finally listened to one of her webinars because they gave one for free. And of course she's trying to sell her business. But she knows what it takes to keep a roof over her head and keep food in her stomach. And it seems pushy. It seems annoying. Someone sent me a nasty picture because they said you showed up in my feed or something. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. It's like, I'm sure you get like 10,000 freaking ads. Like, I did not choose to put my ad on your page. Like, Facebook algorithm chose you, And it's like, I'm only here to help people. And so it really hurt my feelings to get this nasty picture. But it's like, there's one thing I want to say. I know I was praying and I was having a gratitude list, which is good. There's one other thing I want to say. And that is, when I heard the last webinar for my field, some people up in Washington State or Pacific Northwest, and it might be someone else from a different state, the one thing that I do remember is that they're talking about polarizing, attracting clients, attracting customers, attracting patients. You want to attract a customer to buy your product. And when you advertise and use social media and you use the hashtag this and this and this, which audience are you reaching? Like, some people are put out live Instagram and think nobody's watching it, and then the lady's like, she came into a store and this lady's like, I know you, you're Dr. such and such, and they're like, oh wow, people are watching it, people remember me, people are listening, and it's just like, you don't necessarily know what's going on. But what I really liked, because I had someone, a potential patient, I almost gave it to my friend, but my friend is overwhelming. I thought, she said the two hosts were like, yes, you want to attract the potential customers, the people that like your product, the people that want to hire you or buy your product, but you also want to be polarized. You want to repel those that are going to waste your time or that aren't interested. So I really like that, because I always feel guilty about that part. You don't need to waste their time. They don't need to waste your time. You don't need to get nasty poop freaking pictures on your Facebook and you're like, I just paid money, I'm broke, I'm using my credit card, and then someone sends you something nasty, and then the other people try to connect with you and talk to you, and then you're like so depressed that you're scared they're gonna send something nasty that you don't even keep up your website. You don't even put in new posts. Like, I don't know how to do it on Facebook since I have all my accounts connected, but I need to be able to share my account articles. I need to be able to share articles on my webpage. And if I, like, say, share to Facebook on my phone, it'll go straight to my Mia Orange, not my Tower of Health or my doula account. And I don't know why there's an owner of Tower Health LLC webpage, too, because that's just driving me crazy. Like, I need to learn more about this whole algorithm and all these different things that I didn't mean to sign up for. And I really had wished that I kept my business page completely separate from my other page. I wish that I had not done that. I don't even know if you can separate it because it has the same password and login, you know. And they're connected, and it's just a mess. Like, I wanted them separate, and I'm also was in hiding, which is why I had not my legal name anywhere online. And now with the business, you kind of have to start telling people who you really are. Like, you can still tell them your nickname, but they're gonna see your name on your license, and when they research to make sure you're legit. So it's really hard. There's just a lot going through my mind. Sometimes I wish I had help. I asked my partner to help me with some stuff, but then we help. Like, if he's sitting in this chair and I'm sitting over there, like, we can't even look at the same computer screen. Like, it's just too much to try to sit in the bed all day and night. It's just, I don't know. Like, I need to pull up a stool or sit on a box or something, or sit on the floor and just do something different. Do something that works. You see these people on this commercial taking their kids and running around a yard. You see this lady exercising. Looks like they're all nurses. And you're like, oh God, what I wouldn't do to go run around a freaking yard right now. But I had to work my butt off. Yeah, that commercial of the dog getting half shaved or the table getting half clean, and it's an allergy medicine commercial, or like 3/4 clean. That's how my business has been. I've been doing 3/4 of the work. And this chunk is the success. This part is the getting the money in the bank account. And until I do all of it, all this is just a waste. A lot of this is necessary and legal. And you have to keep up your licensing and keep on your charts. But it's just a pain. I got to make a phone call to Oregon. I need to make another video later because obviously I'm not even breathing. I'm just chatting. I'm anxious and I'm like excited, but I'm also depressed about not being able to get my work done in a timely manner. And I know it has to be done, and I know that I need to do it now, and I just don't want to. Bye.